updates here. Well, first, Christian was just saying you got to look at Craig Melvin, who's now the lead voice on the Today Show.
I think we were watching, my wife was watching the Red Carpet Saturday Night Live last evening.
Yes.
You know, the stars were arriving live pre-show.
Right.
And they ran a promo for the Today Show, which of course now has a new co-host along with Savannah, Craig.
Yep.
And I couldn't tell if he had like his earpiece in because they were hugging. But then I realized they're not really on set. That's just, he's got his one ear pierced, it appears.
He has an earring. I noticed that a while back. He's been filling in for a while, or he was on the desk for a while. And then when Hoda Kotb retired or left the show, he took over as the lead guy. Do I like it? No, I don't.
No.
I feel like you should go clean ear if you are the Today Show host.
Playing the, hey, this is NBC.
This is NBC.
The National Broadcasting Corporation.
I don't need somebody telling me of a major news event with an earring in his ear. Okay. There. I said it.
Is that your prejudice on full display?
100%.
Yeah.
I
Ed Bradley did it on 60 Minutes decades ago, yes?
I was okay with that because Ed was simply a reporter doing some 60 Minutes stuff.
That was the most prestigious show on television.
It was.
For decades.
It was, and but I don't know. He pulled it off. I was okay with Ed. I do not care.
I just want to make this sure I understand this. So if there was a national emergency or disaster,
I would tell him.
All you could focus on is his ear.
Well, I would tell him as the producer, Craig, take your jewelry out. What? Well, we just got attacked. We need the jewelry. Take it out now.
We're under attack. Remove the left earring.
It's all people can focus on. Not the death and destruction.
No.
This
is a serious matter. This is gravitas. Take the earring out.
And it's not like he has like the George Michael earring. It's dangling.
No, it's a little stud. It's a little stud from what I could see.
Okay, so what if he does? What if next week he comes in and it's dangling and you're like,
I want your sex.
I mean, at the very least, I'd say, Craig, I'll deal with the stud, but you gotta get. What if he comes in with a Mike Tyson face tattoo, Craig?
It's a Maori tribal symbol. Oh no!
I don't think we can ask him to remove it.
And I love.
Well, we can send him to Antarctica, right?
Like, can we ship him up to Siberia?
We can reassign him.
Can we put him somewhere?
He's not owed the desk.
What a double standard. I have no problem, of course, with Savannah Guthrie having earrings, but with him, like, Craig, get that earring out of your ear. This is a major news organization. I was so happy that Pete Davidson had all his tattoos removed, even though he went through incredible pain to do it and a lot of expense. And there was a guy at one of our two guys named Chris Comedy All-Star shows. He came up to me on Saturday night, and he said, well, at first he said, I'm the exact opposite of you. We are complete opposites. And I was like, oh, okay, great. And he goes, I'm covered with tattoos. And I said, good for you. It's wonderful.
Free expression. I'm all about expression.
You know what I've always said? You do you.
You do you.
100%.
He's like, I'm covered. I got sleeves. I'm like, oh, okay, great.
Wonderful.
Great. But then he said, I'm having one removed.
It clashes with his sleeve, he told us.
Yeah, he's got to get But he said it was really painful. He said that he started the process and said it was really painful and really expensive, which is exactly what Pete Davidson said. And when he said he was having it removed, I said, I'm so proud of you. And he goes,
bring it in here.
Oh. But he said, only
this is what I've wanted to hear.
He said it clashes with the rest of my tattoos, so that's the whole reason for that. So no, I'm anti Craig Melvin tattoo, or rather earring. I didn't like when Carson Daly had the sleeves when he was out there, but at least he's only an entertainment reporter.
Yeah.
Craig Melvin's like the lead guy. He's going to give you the news. He's going to interview the president.
Yeah.
With the earring.
Does Carson Daly? I don't watch the show enough. Maybe that you do, Kelly. I know you and your wife are fans. Does he have the old? I can't remember what they call it, but. Like, if you go to court, does he have tattoos a judge can't see?
Yes.
So if he wears a suit most of the time,
yes,
you don't see any of his ink.
I only knew he had the tattoos because one time they were outdoors and he was wearing a golf shirt.
Yeah, and I will say sometimes they'll do like a cooking segment, he'll roll up his sleeves and you'll see him. And that's where I figure most people scream like you.
Well, yeah.
He's tattooed.
He
can't put things in a crock pot. He's tattooed.
That's right. I'm very straight-laced like that. One of our comedians, I won't name which one, on our Comedy All-Star tour, rolled up his sleeves the other night. And I was like, you got tattoos. But I didn't say it to him. I was just scared of him.
You have tattoos.
You have tattoos. But I did not. I didn't, of course.
You're still of the mindset that only sailors and whores have tattoos.
That's right. That's how I want it. But my friend young Mike, who I go to the gym with, and we're good friends, we talked about this one time years ago, and he goes, I've got tattoos. I said, I've seen every inch of you. He said, no, you have not. In fact, you've only seen about 50% of me. And no, I have them on my back. And I was like, are you kidding me? I couldn't believe
I'm all about expression.
I said,
you do you.
He does not mean that.
That's what you have to say, when you're in the presence of somebody. Now, the second thing, an update here. We have someone who works very closely to the world of collegiate athletics, and he says the athletic director who took responsibility for the banner going up upside down to honor a former player at the University of Illinois. I said, well, he's not responsible for that. I mean, his hands weren't on the banner. Our friend says he should have checked it. He should have checked the banner himself.
So our friend with decades of experience in athletics at the college level, I said, is that standard protocol? He said, any good leader would have made sure the banner was correct, especially if it was months in the making, which was the AD's quote.
That's what he said. Even the guy at the top there, the AD, should have looked at the banner to make sure it was right.
Yeah.
Wow. You know what I said about him? Not your fault, man.
Yeah.
Turn.
Fire the intern.
Yeah. Run. Fire the guy.
Fire the grad assistant.
And the guy was raising the banner.
Quit trying to take blame for stuff you didn't do.
Unfurled the thing. I'm the furthest from Harry Truman as you could ever get. The buck stops here. I mentioned that my daughter got 3 new live fish for Valentine's Day. We named them Dorothy, Rose, and Blanche.
Was she happy to receive them as a Valentine's gift?
Yes, and she warned us. She said, I think he may be getting me some fish. And, of course, the reaction.
Did you think like fish plate?
Yeah, I thought they were taking her out for
like a filet-o-fish or something?
Yeah, yeah. They had, this is such teenage stuff. It's their first Valentine's Day together, and they had reservations at the nicest restaurant in town.
For real?
Yes.
Wow.
And I was impressed, and she put on her best, she got a new dress for it and everything. And then his baseball practice ran long. And they could only get the reservation at like 5 o'clock. It was an early one. So his baseball practice runs long, and he says, okay, we can't make the 5 o'clock. So they go over there, and they're told, well, you can sit and wait for a table, but it's going to be hours. So they leave, and they try to go to her favorite restaurant, which is a Mexican restaurant, and they said, well, it's a 2-hour wait. So they left.
Even the casual places.
Oh, yeah. That's a casual, Mexican restaurant. So they wound up at Bojangles in their...
in their finery?
In their finery.
Listen, sometimes they always come through in a clutch.
Exactly. Well, they did. They did.
It's bow time.
It is.
She said, I guess we'll just have to go to Bojangles, which is exactly what they did.
Well, I know that made her happy. I know they were probably disappointed, but maybe they'll see the humor in the situation.
If they're married 20 years from now, they can look back and say our first Valentine. And they, that might be a thing where they go to Bojangles then every year for Valentine.
We have a friend, a married couple friends. They go to IHOP for their anniversary.
Right. Was it John Edwards, the politician, used to take Elizabeth Edwards for a Frosty?
Yes.
At Wendy's.
They would go to Wendy's.
Of course, he cheated on her.
Yeah, they did badly, but these things do.
Hate to bring that up. I saw that, who's Selena Gomez's boyfriend?
Benny Blanco, fiance now.
Fiance. Did you see what he did for her? She posted it on her social media.
No, I can only imagine, though.
He said, and it's on Instagram, when your fiance isn't a flowers and chocolates girl, this is what you do. So he had a trail. Apparently, she loves tortilla chips. So he had a trail of tortilla chips leading from the house, from the door of the house, all the way up to the master bathroom and across the floor to a tub that was filled with nacho cheese. Literally, and I saw a picture of it. It is to the rim. He filled it with nacho cheese, and they each took some tortilla chips and dipped it into the tub. And I said, Benny, now that's going to be cleanup for days. And that's going to kill your pipe. My father, those pipes, oh my God.
Well, let's just call it what it is. It's nice to be rich because you can do that.
Just
take pictures of it, eat 3 chips, and then be like, all right, clean this up.
Housekeeping, take care of this.
Yep. I mean,
come bring a shop vac. Let's get the cheese out of the bathtub.
I don't even know if you can still use the tub. My father would say our septic tank is going to be ruined.
You have to shovel it out.
Yeah, you can't. That's what I mean.
No way.
Some poor cleanup service was in Benny Blanco's bathroom sucking nacho cheese out of a tub. Probably thinking, I should have stayed in college.
Yeah. Stay in college, my dad said. Stay in college, my dad said.
When you're in Benny Blanco's house, he and Selena Gomez are downstairs now.
I'll tell you, though. I told you, and I watched that movie, that Trump movie, The Apprentice, and everybody in it's rich, The guy who gave him his start, Roy Cohn, is unbelievably rich. And they're partying all the time, and the Cohn guy's doing cocaine and depicted it having this wild sex. And I just said to my wife, I wouldn't have the energy for that. I wouldn't want all that much money because there's always that pressure make more and do more and have more power, you know, and he instilled that into Donald Trump, and I just said it's too much of a hassle.
I don't know. Howard, I think it was Kissinger, Henry Kissinger, who once said, "Power is the ultimate aphrodisiac." There's nothing like getting turned on with that kind of power.
That's right. Well, I've never had that.
You can have Benny Blanco money, but you don't have power.
Yeah,
that kind of power. I would rather just have money and go lay around.
Working on it.
Right. That's what I'm trying to do. Get me some money and lay around. These guys want power so they can influence it, like Elon Musk and Donald Trump and all that.
But if you had the power, you could make men take their earrings out. You could fire NASCAR announcers you don't like.
I would. That'd be my first 2 orders of business today.
Cut down banners you don't like.
If I was Donald Trump today, I would issue a presidential, what do you call it, executive order.
Bring me Craig Melvin.
At his ear.
And bring me Clint Boyer.
Both of them. Yes.
We're going to see the president.
Yeah. Melvin. Get that stud out of your ear and fill in the hole. We're no longer going to.
I'll have the White House chef cut off your ear if you don't remove it.
That's right. And
on your failing TV show.
And Boyer, you ruined the Daytona 500. I want you out of that booth. You are gone. So Benny Blanco puts nacho cheese into that tub.
Did your daughter reciprocate? What kind of gift did she give her Valentine?
Oh, a lot. I mean, all sorts of things that he loves.
Little things,
little trinkets that he loves, and then he loaded her up with jewelry and candy and the fish and all of that stuff. You know.
How upset was she that the baseball practice ran long?
Not very.
She roll with it.
She didn't care about going to the nice dinner, you know.
Yeah.
And when she would rather have Mexican, and frankly, probably rather have Bojangles. So she wasn't upset at all. But then it was like, yeah, but you've got this really nice dress on. She goes, well, I didn't care, you know. And then they went out and did their thing, and I was like, all right, whatever. And then, you know, she said, what'd you do for Valentine's Day for your first girlfriend? Canada.
Oh, yeah, you had to get it through the border.
Yep. She lived in Canada.
Box never made it.
I sent her a shipment of chocolates up there, but because of the dispute at the border, there was that she didn't get anything. I said she lived in Canada.
It's too cold to swim across the Great Lakes
or
the Niagara River.
I stood across the Niagara Falls and waved at her from a side because my girlfriend lived in Canada.
Didn't we meet a nice couple from Canada this past weekend?
Well, the girlfriend was from Canada.
That's right.
The guy,
for now,
very nice.
He's from the U.S.
Right. He's from the U.S. She's from Canada. Of course, we're going to annex them soon, and they're going to be part of the U.S. So. Yes, and she said, I'm a real Canadian girlfriend.
The Canadian girlfriend.
And I said, did you know my friend from Thunder Bay? No, she was from Vancouver.
Yeah, she's out west.
She's west. So they didn't know each other at the time. Another update, we've heard now, and we talked about this on Friday. Here's the owner of the bodega selling the eggs, Lucy style, like you sell cigarettes. And he is selling 1 egg at a time or 3 eggs at a time, because they're so expensive.
If you have $20 and you want to make it for breakfast for 2 or 3 people, and you're already spending $12 for one item, so then how are they going to buy the bread, the milk, the butter, or that? When the people don't have that kind of money, especially in this community, there's a low income. It's very hard for them to just buy and pay that kind of money for a dozen of eggs.
$1 an egg or 3 for $2.99. So he'll sell them that way to you loose. Like that at the bodega. Remember we heard about him on Friday.
I feel like this should kind of be a thing anyways, because sometimes you just need 1 egg for baking reasons.
Exactly.
Well,
you don't need a whole dozen.
6-packs, right?
6 is
they do. So these are loose
But
eggs.
I say let's take it down to a 2-pack.
Yeah, a 2-pack of eggs.
Well, because sometimes you're like, I don't need all these eggs. I'm not going to use them. I just need 2 to make cornbread.
But I mean, at some point, it becomes too expensive to package them and ship them, right?
That's probably why they don't
do it. The packaging would become more expensive.
Yeah. He sells them out of a bucket and just hands them to you. You know, there's no packaging for him. He's at a bodega, so you just go up and say, "I want 2 eggs," and they hand you 2 eggs, and you have to get them home yourself. The other guy we're hearing from is the kayaker off the coast of Chile who was swallowed by a whale and spit back out. We mentioned him on Friday, and there's video too that his father and he were out fishing or on a kayak. And the humpback whale, swallowed him and spit him back out while his father was saying, stay calm, stay calm, stay calm. So that he's been interviewed now. This is the guy who was swallowed.
It was 1 second where I thought that I was eaten by some kind of giant fish, but I didn't know it was a whale. Suddenly I felt like a wave struck me from behind, and I turned around, some blue dark colors and white flashing right through my face, and I felt a slimy texture in my cheek. And then it shot down on me, took me underwater. I closed my eyes because I thought that something would crash into my face.
God, isn't that unbelievable? He's the slimy, like his tongue, I guess, or the
I'm sure,
his mouth. It's nastiness.
I'm trying to remember my whale biology. Are the humpbacks? They don't have the teeth like a sperm whale has teeth. Yeah. They chew.
Yeah.
I can't remember how humpbacks eat.
I thought they just kind of opened and
that's what he did.
Took in a bunch of fish.
Yeah. He just, it was a gulp. And now I thought to myself, I'd start punching his tongue or the inner side of his mouth.
But he was almost out in under 2 seconds.
Very quickly. But once you get swallowed, that's it. Can you imagine those being your last moments and you're going down the esophagus of a whale?
What an honor.
A true seaman's death.
Yeah.
Very few have gone out like that.
Very few.
Swallowed whole by a whale.
By a whale.
I don't even think Ahab went down like that, right? He was just strapped to the side of Moby Dick.
Jonah made it, didn't he? Jonah got out. Yeah.
Pinocchio got out, right?
Built a fire. Built a fire down there with Geppetto, and they coughed him back out.
I did see somebody kind of break down what would happen. You'd basically just be smothered. You'd probably kill the whale, too.
You think?
Yeah, because the whale would be choking.
Are you too big?
Yeah.
Oh, he can't swallow you whole.
Yeah.
Can't get you down.
No, he's not going to, poop you out or anything.
Oh, that'd be terrible, too.
Both of you just have a miserable death.
Oh, I would say. His intestine be blocked, or his esophagus.
Yeah, he chokes to death, and you're in his mouth esophagus, just...
And you're just praying, cough me up, and get me out.
I got this horrible heartburn. I had this Chilean guy.
I cannot have Chilean. I got to remember I cannot have Chilean food. Oh, terrible. Here's the advancement in technology. Biggie, you could have used this 20-some years ago. There's a famous story of Biggie looking at porn on his computer many years ago as a teen. And did you think you were having chest pains or something?
Yeah, I started to have chest pains, and I thought I was having a heart attack.
So before your parents got home.
And as I reached up to close the tabs.
That's right.
Winds up was just gas.
That's right.
This is what's known as foreshadowing.
Well, that is kind of a precursor.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, that's true. I had a woman tell me at one of our Comedy All-Star shows, she took me aside and she said, I cannot believe you went to play pickleball when Biggie was loaded into an ambulance having chest pains. And I had to tell her, I was contractually obligated to play pickleball.
I had to play in front of the mayor.
What was I supposed to do? The mayor was at the other end of that.
You ever heard of a command performance?
I'm sorry. No one felt worse about that than me. You know that. You know that. My God, it was terrible. There's a new iPad case. The maker's called Zugu, Z-U-G-U, that promises upon your death, when it's linked up to your Apple Watch and it'll detect, okay, no heartbeat. It wipes everything on your pad, your computer.
Great. That's perfect. That's perfect.
It's a big price tag. Now it includes
Una's going to love that. The criminal element.
Yeah, it'll all be gone.
Fantastic stuff.
Everything you've searched, all your history and everything will be
I love
wiped.
It. I think it protects your family from who you really are.
Exactly.
I think it should also end any subscriptions you have. Obviously people have OnlyFans subscriptions, so it should go in and cancel the reoccurring charge.
Yes. Yes.
Because the worst thing that imagine the day of your funeral and your wife gets a notification on your phone. It's like, pa-ching!
Yeah.
You've just played $9.99 for another month of Dirty Mama 86 or something.
Who's Misty Mounds?
On your phone,
Hey, thanks for being an OnlyFans member.
Yeah, and you're staring at the body in the casket like, what?
Yeah, that's right. Who were you really? Did I even know you?
It's called the In Case of Death app. And,
I love it.
It links to your watch, so as soon as your pulse is no longer detected, it's gone. But then what if they save you? Then what if you
lost everything?
Yeah, and then you've lost all your stuff. That's the only thing.
I think it's got to be like a solid 12 hours of dead.
Agreed. Wait at least a couple hours.
Will this finally get you to purchase an Apple Watch, Chris Kelly?
Yes. I can't have
I think it should also start opening tabs on like really great sites, you know.
The great books.
Yes. Yeah, great,
Giving to charity, all those things.
Oh, look at him. He was such a giving scholar.
Exactly. Make it look like you've really done something. I love that. That's the next generation of that.